Hey all, here OS Reviews. You're watching our hands-on review of the DY-Play ANC30. These are a pair of in-ear style headphones that offer active noise cancellation, which is actually more rare than you'd think. The majority are over-ear and on-ear style headphones. They're much larger and bulkier to take on the road, so if you want portability, this may be an interesting option. It's also a neckband style, so part of the weight is supported on your neck, and that's where kind of the battery and the Bluetooth module is located. The earbuds themselves are very lightweight. This sells for $57 at the time of this video, which is decent in terms of pricing, pretty similar to other ANC headphones on the market. Otherwise, it works for 12 hours without ANC. Battery life drops to 8 hours with active noise canceling turned on. And otherwise, we can just open this up like a book. Some basic specs printed here that tells you how ANC functions, but it seems to be printed all in Chinese. Regardless, we have the headphones right on top. They are actually very shiny. It has a chrome-like material. And underneath there's a second book that contains the micro USB cable for charging. And there's also the rubber tips that you can get a more custom or comfortable fit with. 2 sets along with a quick user manual. Taking a closer look at the design first, initial impressions are they are actually kind of unique. So we have this interesting chrome-like accent with the company's logo on the very tips. They're super shiny and reflective, but also quite pretty to look at. Construction is mostly made out of plastic and rubber, but it feels fairly well put together. And on the other side, we have this optimal angle that sticks into your ears a bit more comfortably, and oversized labeling for the left and right sides of your ears. Otherwise, the actual neckband part itself is made out of a coarse plastic polycarbonate as opposed to a soft touch rubber. So it's a bit more hard. It doesn't actually bend down quite as easily. You can't actually try and twist this or bend it down to put it into a backpack as easily, but you can still wear it on your neck, and it has a bit more of a rigid structure. On the inside, we have also the controls facing towards your neck. You can adjust things like the volume. The center key here can be used to play and pause your music. You can also tap on this to answer or reject a phone call because there is a built-in microphone which you can access. There's a dedicated switch here for the active noise cancellation. I can switch this to the left to turn it on, and you'll see a green status LED. That means ANC can be turned on even if you aren't listening to music or connected to your phone, which is actually pretty cool. So you can just turn it on and maybe get some rest when you're on a plane, and that is entirely possible. There's also a dedicated power key that you can tap and hold for a few seconds longer to enter the Bluetooth and the pairing mode. Now, what's also interesting about these is they have a haptic vibration. So as you may have heard there, when it first boots up, it vibrates, but also when you get a new incoming call or notification, it can also vibrate. Now, the final element of the design that's unique is, despite the fact that the ear tips themselves aren't magnetic and also don't retract into the band itself, so we have a little bit of a dangling wire, they also include an interesting tiny little adapter here that you can use to squish the 2 wires together when you're not listening to music. So it helps keep the wires less tangled up. And speaking of one more, here it is. This is the triple driver wireless Bluetooth. And again, you can see that the neckband style itself is quite similar. The size is also very similar. It's only that we have a much softer band here compared to the rigid plastic of the ANC30. And the style of the tip itself, you can see is actually more similar to the Spearhead VR that we also saw from One More a few days ago. Moving to performance, let's talk about the pros first. To begin with, the bass actually is very good, so it took me by surprise when playing back an EDM bass boosted track. It's actually more powerful than I was expecting. So I think even bass heads, for the most part, can feel the bass, and they're definitely more powerful than a typical pair of wireless Bluetooth earbuds. That's very good. Mids and highs also sound very clean, and if you turn the volume all the way down, you don't really hear any noise or hissing in the background, so it's actually extremely clean sounding, which is great. Now, in terms of slight cons, it doesn't have any aptX certification from Qualcomm or any other technology that promises lossless and higher compression quality. What that means is if you try to walk away a little further from your device, you'll notice a little bit more popping. And there's definitely been instances where, such as when it's playing back a new song or skipping to the next song, it cuts in a little bit sharply. So it's not a super smooth transition, but you hear a pop, and then the music continues and it's really smooth and crisp. and sometimes when it hits a really high note, it also has a slight pop. So if you want the most consistent playback quality in the world, then that's when this might be a little bit more disappointing. But otherwise, in regular use, the lows, mids, and highs are all, I think, better than the price would suggest. It's all very balanced, and especially the bass, it's more powerful than I was expecting. Great for watching movies, great for listening to EDM-based music, and pop music in general. They also get very loud. Otherwise, when it comes to the active noise canceling component, I have to say that I'm fairly impressed. With that being said, they're not going to be as powerful as on over-ear style headphones. It's not going to beat the Bose Quiet Comfort QC series for being more effective. So if you are, have those type of expectations, you might be a little bit disappointed there. But for the most part, it definitely is effective. I tried it in a computer office when there's a lot of fan noises generated by the desktops, and it completely drowned those out. So in an office setting, it works well. If you're going on a plane, it will drown out about 85% of the engine sound. Otherwise, they are very comfortable just because they're super lightweight. They are very ergonomic and fit in very well into my ears. So personally, I didn't have any issues in terms of comfort. I could wear these for long periods of time, and it was still quite enjoyable. Most of the weight is supported on your neck, so they are, again, very comfortable and they don't fall out. That's more or less it as far as our hands-on review of the DY Play ANC30, so active noise canceling neckband in-ear style headphones. The design here, the really compact form factor, is what makes it unique. Bass in particular is stronger than expected. The controls are really nice to use. I like the fact that you can turn on ANC without having to be connected to a device first. The addition of a vibration motor also makes notifications a lot easier to notice on this particular model. Now, areas of potential improvement, I think if they upgraded from Bluetooth 4.2 to 5.0, it would improve the audio quality even more by getting rid of those occasional pops in the sound, just because all the Bluetooth 5.0 TWS earbuds I've tried so far have been just super smooth and consistent in that sense. So you can learn more details about these in the links down below, but if you're looking for small ANC headphones that are more portable, but don't necessarily have a standard 3.5mm jack or a Type-C jack, you want a wireless Bluetooth, then this is definitely an option to take a closer look at. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. That's been the DY Play ANC30 active noise canceling neckband style Bluetooth headphone.